Women of Reddit, what's the biggest man-child red flag? They'll always find some way to push the blame onto others. It's never their fault. Edit. Read through what some of your comments said and I have to agree that in general, this applies to both men and women. Maybe my cat. It's not my fault. It looks like I blame everyone for my problems. I've just had really bad luck. I'm a nice guy. People take advantage. Fine, don't reply whore. I know someone like this, only started to lighten up mid-30s, but nothing was ever his fault. You lost a $300 because you gave someone's order to someone else? But it's not your fault because he told you his name, which led you to pull up someone else's name? Yeah, no, your fault. What's that? You're behind on your bills but it's not your fault? You didn't get enough money from your deadbeat renter? You have $20K in your bank account, not even accruing interest because it's not in a savings account because you are too lazy to set one up. Pay your damn bills on time instead of whining. Then again, I knew a lot of people who acted like this, but they usually mellowed out when mommy and daddy or Grammy and pappy didn't help anymore. Monster Energy logos in his back window. I don't understand what is it with that logo? Why do people put it everywhere? Maybe I missed something? I don't get it either. Why anyone would want to rep an energy drink that doesn't sponsor you is beyond me. Yo. Do you see that huge Summer's Eve logo on my car? Yay, I'm a douche and I represent. He doesn't know how to do a load of washing. And refuses to try and learn. This in general. If someone refuses to try and learn a common task because they don't want to, that person has some latent narcissism that you're going to run into down the line. Lol, dated a guy like that. We had just moved in together and he mentioned not having clean clothes. So I showed him how to use the washer dryer and he looked at me and said, but that's a woman's job. Laughed my ass off and told him to enjoy wearing dirty clothes, then. And surprisingly, I didn't stay with him long after that. Maybe I'm just an unforgiving bitch, but comments like that are an immediate, flat out deal breaker for me. Doing your laundry is my job because I'm a woman? Yeah, how about you duck off, you sexist douche? No thanks. Incredibly irresponsible, puts off things indefinitely until someone else does it for them. Probably the type to complain their mother, girlfriend, wife is a nag, because they have to resort to that to get him to do shit. This comment was a huge realization for me. No wonder I haven't found an acceptable way to ask him to do anything. There is no acceptable way. When they are all over a girl, then she rejects them and suddenly she is a grotesque demon. Mom still runs his life. Mom still ruins his life. Fixed that for you. I had to fight nails and teeth to get my independence from mine. Couldn't make it happen. Had to leave all of it behind. I was always her little boy forcing her and wanted attention on me when she needed emotional relief or an ego boost while denying my needs. Mothers, treat your kids as human beings, they are not your emotional prostitutes. No mention of still playing with Lego, I think I'm safe. If someone tells you not to play with Lego, they are not worth it. Yay, you don't need that kind of negativity in your life. If that happens, you just need to let go. Living like a crackhead. Eating like a 12-year-old. Doesn't read, doesn't progress, complains endlessly, never assumes responsibility but would say things like I'm such a jerk, I'm so stupid, I'm a mess. Like you're okay, and what will you do about it now, Michael? This is a red banner wrapped around a life, not just a flag. Throws a tantrum when a news organization writes an article critical of him, and then criticizes that organization for being fake news and declares the press to be the enemy of the American people. Throws a tantrum when they don't get their way. Like a child screaming in a store because their mum wouldn't buy them a toy. So they never grew out of that. Only acts nice because they want something in return. Everything has strings and an underwritten contract. Known and read of a few breakups that happened because turns out after they moved out of their parents' place they treated their partner like they were their new mother-father. Only acts nice because they want something in return. Everything has strings and an underwritten contract. AKA the entire foundation of the nice guy. Doesn't offer to help clean up after you cook for him. Go straight to couch. Help? Duck that. One party cooks, the other washes up. That's like 99% of the reason I got good at cooking. After reading through this, it feels good that none of it describes me. Although I still feel like a teenager who just wants to play video games and eat junk food. Haha, I was worried clicking on this thread, but after reading through the answers it made me feel better about myself. GG Reddit. Filthy apartment. Floors never swept or washed. Toilet smells like hell's urinal. Piles of dirty laundry. Fuel, no kitchen utensils. Garbage hasn't been taken out in who knows how long. Kitchen littered with Gatorade bottles and fast food frozen meal containers. Nasty sheets. And posters of scantily clad models and/or Scarface movie posters as the only decorations. Still holding on to lie even though he has been caught. I'm holding the truth to his face, but he still denies it. Damn, he could have become a politician. Seriously. I caught my ex red-handed, multiple times, stealing my pain meds, and he would still try to lie his way out of things. Just switch the pills with birth control or laxatives. That'll stop him. Being proud of not reading. Being proud of their ignorance in general. Oh my god. I almost married one. Here, have a list. Forces himself to dislike something just because you like it. Ever see a grown man grit or grind his teeth while playing a video game you encouraged him to try? I have. Fussy eater. Will not eat anything that isn't pizza or burgers and has zero interest in broadening his culinary horizons. I was sympathetic at first, but he aggressively refused all of my suggestions. Owns various books on get-rich-quick schemes. I know, I probably should have left right then and amp. Spontaneous vehicle purchases. Owns a classic car from high school that he refuses to part with, but never drives it, works on it, or does anything with it except keep it insured and have difficulty finding places to park it. He had this facade of being handy, but every time he would set out to do something handy, he needed someone else there to help him. I need James to come over and help me with the brakes on my car. I called my dad to help with the tile backsplash in our kitchen, etc, etc. And then they would just end up doing it for him. Makes fun of the things you like. Pay attention to this, seriously. A normal guy should be able to appreciate that you like things, even if they're different from the things that he likes. He outright mocked me for enjoying certain video games that weren't the kilovolute instant gratification variety. A man appreciates and respects your choices. A child points and laughs at the things you like. Wants the house perfectly spotless but will never do anything to get off his lazy ass to help with that. Works a part-time job and refuses to consider trying to go back to school or do really anything to get him out of that situation that isn't whining about not getting a promotion after working sorting mail for nearly 10 years. Honestly, liberal arts degree. Such entitlement. Wow. Wants a dog, gets a dog, does absolutely fuck all with taking care of cleaning up after training the dog. Doesn't want to have kids yet because then he'll have to share his toys. Seriously. He's not being funny when he says shit like this. He's legitimately a greedy, selfish man, baby, and you should not procreate with him. Learn from my almost mistake. Run. Buys expensive things right after you tell him not to buy those things, and then expects it to just be okay. Always talks about having a ton of money coming in. Truth is, he has no money coming in, just entitlement issues up the ass. He wants to dazzle you with cash he doesn't actually have. Wants to become a lawyer. Has absolutely no interest in actually putting any effort into becoming a lawyer. In truth, he actually just wants to argue more and get away with saying stupid shit in front of a judge. This is not the kind of person who becomes a lawyer. Any ducking time he playfully whines about something. But I want a CX movie, not Y. But I want a new one of these because mine's not working properly, etc, 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 and then playfully laughs. Pro tip, it's not fake whining to be funny, it's actual whining disguised as fake funny whining. Just stay away from any and all whining. Having his mother appear on your doorstep at random ducking times to harass you after you dump him and he kicks himself out. That was fun. Not. They were looking in my ducking windows to see whether I was home. Sending harassing texts and emails after you dump him saying he's entitled to spousal support and you paying off all of his debt that he accrued without your input, even though he's left you with 2 pets and a house you can barely afford on your own. That was actually fun. Forwarding everything to my family lawyer to discredit him. Really, he did it all himself. His relatives post vaguely on their Facebook about how they are happy in their marriages whatever and would never treat their spouse like that. Translation: Man baby has been crying to entire family, "You're the scum of the earth, how dare you find fault in this perfect cinnamon roll." Probably the biggest one. Talks a lot about stuff he wants, never actually puts forward any effort into actually getting it. Never. He just expects it to magically happen without his input at all. Everything you do annoys him. Literally everything. How dare you listen to music while you cook or clean? How dare you soak potting soil in the sink for plant pots? It's so dirty even though it takes less than a minute to wipe up. How dare you get back into painting? That's money I can't spend on pizza. How dare you order off the dinner menu? Never mind that I go for lunch twice a week with my friend Kyle. It's so expensive when I eat out with you maybe twice a year. If you upset his happy norm by existing, you're sure to hear some whining about it. We were together nearly 5 years. I'm sure I'll come up with more.